I don't even look at them. Oh, did I hit record?
Oh, you did.
Okay, well, go ahead.
So, this is The Gorge. It's a podcast where my friend Sarah and I gorge ourselves on what's happening in the world of video games and entertainment.
The Gorge is brought to you by Patreon. That's patreon.com/thegorge, where for just $5 a month, you gain access to not one, but two podcasts. $5 gets you Take Out, a monthly commentary track where Ben and I watch things and make fun of it instead of play anything, because, you know, sometimes that's just a lot of effort. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
No, it's hard work. And then $2 a month, only $2 gets you That's Hell You're Walking Into, a podcast where, most recently, it's about me taking Ben's phone and cleaning up his CE collection in Fate Grand Order, because it was a wreck. It was a mess. But it's nice and shiny and beautiful now, so, you know, no problem. Because That's Hell You're Walking Into is a monthly podcast where Ben asks me questions about the extended Nasuverse lore, I guess, like Fate Grand Order and stuff. And I do my damnedest to answer. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes not so much. So if you think that sounds like fun, and personally I do, head on over to patreon.com/thegorge and kick in however much you think you can. And if you don't have any money, tell your friends. That would be cool too.
Normally, this is the part where I thank everyone, but I don't have that pulled up on my phone because the Patreon app is weird and doesn't actually show a list of patrons.
Oh, that's nice.
So, thank you to everyone for donating. We really appreciate you
We
guys.
love all of you desperately, even though I do threaten half of you with bodily harm in our Discord. But understand that the threats of bodily harm are done with love, of course. So, if you think things sound differently this week, there's a reason for that, Ben.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's because I'm actually sitting right next to you while we do this.
You're sitting in my living room with me while we record. That's also why, if you hear whining dogs in the background, it's because Boo Boo and Diva are just ecstatic about the idea of having a friend in the apartment. So, hopefully they won't cause any too much chaos while we record. And yeah, so, The Gorge, live.
Yeah, in person.
In person. 2 people in the same room. Imagine that.
We have not done that since MomoCon.
Has it been that long?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think that was the last time we were actually in the same room recording.
That is true. Yeah, we didn't record anything when you were getting married.
No, obviously. There was more important stuff happening.
Way more important stuff going on. And a whole lot more stuff going on. But yeah, no, we did do something at MomoCon. Although MomoCon wasn't as long ago as I thought.
We did lose a year.
That's true. That's 2019.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, 2019. That's not too bad, but still, we're here. We're here now. We're gonna do the regular old roundup, and enjoy being in the same room. That means we don't have to sync audio tracks either. So this will be the most live it's ever been. It's great.
So what have you been doing past month?
What have I been doing this past month? Other than just like binging through Great Ace Attorney.
Yeah.
So like literally it was just like, hey. And then it turns out we split the damn thing into 2 episodes anyway, so I lost all that sleep for nothing. It's like, oh shit, okay, well, fine. But it was totally worth it. What else have I been doing? Shamefully, I got back playing Fallout 4.
Yeah, you mentioned that yesterday.
It literally was just like, and after you guys left last night, even though I had like 3 glasses of wine and 4 beers, I literally was still up until 1 a.m. building shacks in Fallout 4. So that's what I've been doing.
Your citizens are going to be like, none of these are lined up.
I know.
What's going on?
Were
you drunk when you built these?
I was drunk when I built these.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, well, the dogs are free, hopefully. Yeah, no, the dogs are free, so,
Yep, there they are.
There they are. Welcome to, this is what it's normally like. This is how we normally record, but you don't get to hear it because, it's only on the one audio track. But now, you do get to hear the sound of my idiot dogs wanting attention while we record. So, sorry. Diva, please stop. What else have I done? What else have I done, Ben?
Do you want to hit pause and deal with this?
I can.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, there we go. So, dogs have been handled. They're now locked in a room, unfortunately, so they can't bother us while we record. Ben, what else have I been doing? Playing FGO, watching Star Trek, still putting off finishing The Next Generation, although it is leaving Netflix at the end of this month.
So you have a time limit for that.
I have a time limit. I have to actually finish The Next Generation soon, and then I'll acquire the next stuff of Star Trek in my own way.
Of course.
Because the Gorge does not endorse the extremely cool crime of piracy. We do endorse the extremely cool crime of utility stuff.
Yes.
But not piracy.
That's a bridge too far.
Yeah, no, of course not. But I will acquire Deep Space Nine in other ways. And what else have I been doing? Working, mostly. Yeah, I've been boring this month. That's the problem with being an adult. Have I played anything else of note that isn't for podcast content? No. Soon, though, because soon I'm going to actually I'll be forced to cop Arise, Psychonauts 2, and Deathloop all at the same time, and I'll have to juggle all of that shit.
I know.
So soon, I'll have so much shit to talk about that you'll wish I'll shut up. But in the meantime, I'm being boring, so Ben, go.
I also did not do a whole bunch of stuff.
Cool.
So I read a few things, watched a few things. Mostly my time has been consumed with Great Ace Attorney, and Tales of Arise.
That's fair. How do you like Arise?
It's the best Tales game so far.
Like playing?
Easily.
Like playing-wise?
Yeah.
Plot-wise?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, 100%. Hey, you know how Berseria's combat was overly complicated and super busy? And you remember how in Berseria, trying to upgrade equipment was a nightmare?
Yes.
What if no?
What if all of that was just gone?
What if instead you did no?
That's nice.
What if... So, in combat in Arise is amazing because you have a jump button and you have an attack button and you have art buttons.
Okay. And
you have a dodge button.
So, how many... Like, how is the...
So, it's... And you can set up your layout however you want.
Sure.
I have X as jump, square as attack, triangle, R1 and L1 are my arts.
Okay.
And then circle is dodge.
Okay. That's not bad. That's actually really good.
And you know how when Berseria was like every attack cost a pip of your thing? No, that's only arts now.
Okay.
Your basic attack is just your 3 to 4 hit combo, and then you have to take a breather.
So still pretty standard Tales combat in that way.
Yeah.
Because Tales combat is always until Berseria was like that.
Yeah, and it's very character action in a good way because your combo is like 3 to 4 hits on the ground. Mm-hmm. Some of your arts are just straight up launchers. So you launch them in the air, you go up in the air, and you can continue your combo in the air. Okay,
so it sounded like you only had 3 buttons for arts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, you do lose out at an arts button.
Sure, but there is an easier dedicated jump button this time.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to guard and then press up to jump. Right. There's just a jump button because Alphen, at least, loves to be in the air.
Sure, absolutely. So it is true, Devil May Cry ass shit.
I think out of the arts I've unlocked so far for him, 60% are launchers.
Okay, so yeah, he's just an aerial combo guy.
Yeah.
That is really interesting. Okay, I'm actually extremely excited to give that a shot then. Because, I am kind of about losing an arts button, but that's just because I'm so used to having 4 arts. I feel like that can limit combo potential. But I'm wondering if you can unlock a way to can you quick swap between characters?
I haven't tried it. I've only played as Alphen and a little bit as Law, so I haven't really experimented with trying to switch characters. What you can do is everyone has a special ability on the D-pad, which all do different things depending on who it is. Alphen does a big fiery explosion, area effect explosion. Xion knocks aerial enemies out of the air and grounds them immediately. Law can break armor.
Okay.
So like you fight a bunch of guys who are in like super bulky armor, and you have to wear down their defenses. Law can do that instantly.
Okay.
It's just like this little meteor. Rinwell can steal spells if someone's casting them.
Oh, nice.
Like there's like a little thing that's like a little circular reticle will be like, oh, this opponent's casting a spell. Oh, tap the button and Rinwell steals it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So, that sounds pretty
It's
versatile.
It's suspiciously easy. And, like, suspiciously, like, player-friendly.
Right. I am interested. I am, like, mostly interested in the idea of being able to swap easily. Because, like, feel like if you can swap easily, that kind of opens up your combo potential. So, I'll have to give it a shot soon.
Like, the AI is also, like, very, very active.
Okay.
And, like, there's ways to extend your combo without doing that. And, like I said, ground to air resets resets that combo so that you can just keep doing it.
Okay.
And then a lot of Alphen's arts will ground him immediately.
Okay.
And then if you have any ground combos left, you can finish off with that.
Okay. That actually sounds really cool. Yeah. I will hopefully be grabbing that soon. It's weird that you're playing you're playing a Tales game before me, because that never happens. Like, every single time a Tales game has come out, in like the last 6 years, you've been out of town.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I have a whole week to get caught up on Ben. But like this one time, Ben's got it on me because I was too busy playing Great Ace Attorney trying to get caught up for the podcast, remember? So.
It also does one amazing thing that I'm so happy about, which is, do you want to learn how you learn new skills in this game?
Do you just level up?
You get skill points, and then you spend them on skills.
That sounds so much better.
and there's no like weapon shop or like armor shop. You can just buy armor from regular shops, and for weapons you go out and find materials, and then you forge new weapons.
Okay.
And it's like, so do you mean like, I get a sword that does more fire damage but doesn't have any base upgrade stats, but it only does more fire damage to certain... No, it's just better.
It's just a better sword.
Your attack number go up.
And the number goes up. It's simple.
Does it have like a bullshit skill attached to it that like I won't have to figure out and have to learn? No. You learn skills differently. You just
learn them.
Get better gear.
You just learn skills. Imagine that. Okay. That's good. That's exciting. That's good to know. I've got you as my guinea pig. Because like I was a little iffy about some of the stuff I was seeing in combat because it just seems so like different. But different is not bad. It's just different. So.
Weirdly enough, it feels more like Abyss Symphonia and Vesperia and Zillia than Berseria did.
Okay. Cool.
Like, even despite it looking like a character action game, it's like, this is like more reminiscent of old Tales games.
Where it's a little bit it's a little bit faster and responsive. Okay. Cool. Hell yeah. I'm excited then.
I love it.
Soon I will get it.
Also, I'm really surprised at how everyone's personality is. I did not expect Alphen to act the way he does.
He's just like a good boy.
He's really nice.
Aw, good. Well, he's Ray Chase. Ray Chase loves playing himself a good boy. So, okay.
Like, he's really nice, and Shion is a huge bitch, and it's great.
Yes. We love ourselves a bitchy princess. Listen, we are a certified Natalia fan podcast. We love Natalia from Tales of the Abyss. So we love ourselves a bitchy princess, like 100%. Yes,
it's great. She's like, even if she didn't have magic thorns, she'd still be like, "Don't touch me."
Okay, cool, good. I love her. I love her already. So I look forward to it also making me completely insane. Yeah, like all Tales games do.
What else did I do? Speaking of Fallout, I read a comic called Geiger. Which is written by someone who really, really likes Fallout New Vegas.
That's fair.
Because it is literally set in a radiated post-apocalyptic Vegas.
Okay.
Where everyone has like a gimmick to them. Like there's like a dude in charge of Las Vegas, and he has like a whole King Arthur aesthetic.
Oh my god. So like the kings.
Yeah. Okay. And so like it's like this whole thing like it's sci-fi radiation because like the main character Geiger is like a dude that got super radiated and now he has superpowers. Okay. Like he can he has like these rods in his back and he pulls the rods out and he basically becomes a glowing one.
Is this an American comic?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's only like 5-6 issues. It was like really, really good and interesting. And they're like trying to build a world about it because like they like in the last issue they announced like a follow-up series, which is about a very, very, very minor character that got introduced in like issue 4.
Okay.
And they're like, the next part will be about this guy.
Okay.
And it's like it's also like very Mad Max reminiscent because it's got like it's being told as like a folktale.
Oh.
So like the framing device is like this older guy is telling this younger guy about like the story of Geiger. Mm-hmm. And it's like, at the end, it's like, so is that the end of Geiger's story? And it's like, no, there's more. And it's like this whole folklore thing. It's really cool.
Okay, that sounds awesome. Okay.
I also started a manga, The Hunters Guild Red Hood.
Oh, yeah, the really horny one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not super far in it. The art style is amazing.
Sure, that's why everybody is reading it on Twitter.
It looks, the art, like, it's super, like, exciting and sketchy style that I really like. It's about folk tales, Red Riding Hood, right? That kind of thing. But she has a big gun and
she got a big gun
axes
and big boobs
and stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. It's very fast paced.
Okay.
Like things just like keep going and going and going.
I like that this is like now the trend of all shonen manga is just to be like insanely fast paced. Like
I think they're realizing that like, oh, we're not gonna be One Piece. No one has that time anymore.
No, mangas don't really become One Piece anymore. Like even like Hiroaka.
Yeah, it's ending. It's in its down and they just announced that Dr. Stone is in its final arc too.
Yeah, so it's like I don't even think Shonen Jump is trying to necessarily even find a new One Piece.
Yeah, a long runner like that.
Yeah, because I don't think anybody really has like One Piece is kind of a once in a generation thing.
Yeah,
like you get the occasional insanely long running manga, and eventually it's like, well, no, this isn't like that sustainable. Like
it's not. It's not profitable until it is 15 years later, and you have like entire stores and restaurants devoted to this one thing.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So they're just trying to find whatever comes next because like even One Piece, Oda says it'll end eventually.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Who knows? Who knows with that?
Yeah, it'll end like DBZ ends, and then it's just like, oh, we're just gonna keep doing more stuff.
Yeah, we'll just keep making it that way. So
we need Oda to design some characters for this mobile game.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah, Hunter's Guild is pretty good. I also finally broke down. It's read like the first 3 pages of Jujutsu Kaisen. Because I'm like, I finally need to know what that's about.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, everyone's talking about it.
Yeah. So, what did you think?
I added it to my Viz app. Okay. Like, I haven't really started dedicating myself to it.
Okay.
But I'm like, all right, when I have a minute, I'm going to break the seal and read that.
Okay. Well, tell me how it is. Because, like, everything I've seen of it, like, everybody's talking about it, but everything I've seen of it just seems so bog standard shonen.
It seems like super generic, so I'm like,
just like your standard school shonen shit.
What am I missing?
Right.
Like what it's like I can see with like Hunter x Hunter where it's like, oh, these character designs look really unique. So there's probably something there. Everyone in Jujutsu Kaisen just looks like a Melty Blood character.
Yeah, oh my god, they do. Absolutely. Everybody looks like a Melty Blood character, 100%, yeah.
So I'm like, okay, what gimmick to the story am I not getting because, like, it doesn't come through with, like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. It's like 2 guys in a room.
Yeah, it's everything I've seen of it just does not, like, speak to me in any way. So, I don't know. Maybe it's like, spurred on by the fact that I think the anime adaptation was either Mappa or Madhouse. Like one of the big, like high quality studios did the adaptation for Jujutsu Kaisen. And so I think that's part of it. Like obviously like a really good, we saw with Demon Slayer, like a really good anime adaptation can like light the world on fire. Mm-hmm. But I feel like even Demon Slayer has a hook because it's set in like Japan in the 1920s. Like that is when you're like with a really interesting art style and doing demon hunting shit. Like that's like a hook that I think sounds really interesting. But Jujutsu Kaisen just sounds like like your standard school battle action manga.
Yeah.
And I'm not seeing it. Maybe I'm just not, maybe if I got into it, I would see it, but I don't know. So
I'll let you know how that goes.
Please.
But I'm just like, okay, people I respect, whose opinion I respect on Twitter are like, Jujutsu Kaisen is the best. So I'm like, okay, I better at least try it.
Give it a shot at the very least.
The only other stuff I really did is I went to hang out with Melissa's parents for a weekend, and we watched 2 documentaries. We watched Lulu Rich and Fire.
So you mentioned this in the car ride from the airport, actually.
Yes.
One of them is about like the MLM scam of Lululemon.
Yeah, LuLaRoe is this thing where like they sell like leggings and other stuff, and it's, you buy them the merchandise and then you sell it to your friend. It's a Tupperware party.
Yeah, Tupperware
with
party.
Clothes. Mary
Kay makeup. That kind of thing.
And so they were like, it's an MLM, it's a pyramid scheme.
Sure, absolutely.
Blah blah. The 2 people who started it look like the villains in a children's movie where the protagonist is a talking dog.
Oh God, I know exactly what you mean.
Like they are going to demolish the park to make room for their new warehouse type, thing.
They're gonna tear down the old skate rink and they're gonna put a mall there. And we gotta stop them. Yeah.
And it was, and it's just like, okay, well, you start off there, they exploded in popularity, and so they started selling garbage merchandise instead. So people are the women they're interviewing are like, yeah, I got a shipment came in, and like 90% of it was moldy or like saturated in water and like falling apart. Like, you would put them on and they would tear instantly, and it's like people were complaining, and I was like, well, who's taking responsibility for that? And of course, people were talking like, no, not me. You guys take the blame,
right?
And then it sucked because they didn't pay at the end. Like, they lost, they had a lawsuit, but they're like, oh, well, we're still fine, blah, 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 blah.
Well, of course. That's capitalism these days, baby. Nobody ever sees any real consequences for being scammers.
Yeah, so we were kind of bummed out about that, so that's why I watched Fire.
Oh, yeah?
Which is a documentary about the Fire Festival from 2017. And how that all fell apart and turned into a nightmare.
Of course. But it's a funny nightmare because it happened to rich people.
It did happen to rich people, but they're talking about how, like, okay, so the big thing was, like, we wanted to get the island that Pablo Escobar owned. And they're like, okay, you can do that, but don't tell anyone it's the island that Pablo Escobar owned.
Right.
And in their commercial, they're like, come visit the island that Pablo Escobar owned. And they went, we told you not to do that. Get off our island.
You can't use the island anymore.
So
oh my God.
They threw them off the island, so they had to rent the space next to a Sandals.
Yes. Yeah, I have heard.
But they didn't update any of their information. It still says, like, visit this, privately owned island. It's
right.
Like, it's not.
No, it's not. It's just an island with a resort on it.
They couldn't get any actual tents, so they had a bunch of hurricane relief tents.
Oh, yes. I remember when all this was happening.
Yeah. Oh, it was so much fun.
It was the best time on Twitter. Probably the greatest time on Twitter ever, except for that weekend where Donald Trump had COVID.
Yeah.
Which was the greatest time on Twitter, of course, as everybody knows.
But it's like I didn't really learn a ton from the documentary, besides it was just fun to, like, the catharsis of seeing it all happen again.
Yeah.
And, like, watching, like, the guy who owned, like, Billy, the guy who, like, started it, was, like, getting super mad about everything falling apart.
Sure.
And it was nice, though, because he's in jail.
He's in jail, yeah.
He actually did go to jail.
That's the thing, though, folks. That's the thing you have to learn. If you don't want to go to jail for doing a scam, don't scam rich people. You have to scam poor people. If you're scamming poor people like these LuLaRoe assholes, then nothing happens because nobody cares about what happens to poor people. But if you scam rich people, you will go to jail. That's the rule of society. You scammed a bunch of shitty rich kids, so of course they all complained to their mommies, and now they're in jail.
The other thing that helped him go to jail was that he was on bail for the fire thing.
Okay.
He got out on bail and then immediately started another scam.
Nice.
And they caught him doing that, and that's why he's spending the next 6 years in jail.
Some people just have a compulsion. They're like, I just have to keep doing crimes. And it's like, okay, buddy. Well, you can do that if you want to go to jail, but,
And I think the funniest thing was, like, the fact that Ja Rule tries to act like he wasn't a part of it.
Oh, yeah.
And now, but like, they have him on film in a Skype call being like, we gotta get this under wraps. We gotta find a way to spin this story.
Right.
Look, nobody died. Nobody's in the hospital. It's a victimless crime.
It is a victimless crime because it happened to rich people. It's true.
We need to find out how we can spin this to look good. And then afterward he's like, I don't know. I didn't know anything that was going on. I didn't know what was happening. I was just all completely by surprise. I
do think it's very funny though that like. It is like they're like it's a victimless crime. It's true. It was a victimless crime, because like the most that happened is that like a bunch of shitty rich kids were inconvenienced for a weekend, which is, in my opinion, the funniest thing in the universe. So I love it. I'm so glad. It's my favorite. It's one of my favorite like total clusterfuck stories.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's to watch, you don't get something that falls apart this spectacularly.
Oh no,
you never
do. It's beautiful. Whenever it happens, you're just like, wow, perfect.
Just so blatantly too.
Oh yeah.
Like you usually like they do find a way to like cover it up and like make it like indirectly a disaster. Like it's not directly their fault. But this is like, we flew all these rich kids in, and they literally have nowhere to sleep. Because it rained really hard the night before, and so all of the tents and mattresses are soaked and useless.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, well, no one can sleep anywhere, and there's no running water or electricity.
Oh.
And everyone has their phones and is taking pictures of this.
Perfect. It's great. All these shitty kids like crying and having to get like on private planes to get off this island, get rescued from this island, even though there's a Sandals like right there.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's a wonderful story. It's beautiful. I love it. Every time I hear about Firefest, I'm just like, yay! It's a clusterfuck, but it's a funny one instead.
But yeah, I didn't do much else because Great Ace Attorney took over everything.
It has eaten my life. It's so good. I want to play it again. I wish I could just like wipe my memory to play it again for the first time. It's not the same. I know. So please look forward to whatever stream we do of whatever Ace Attorney game we haven't played yet. I do think if we played Spirit of Justice on stream, I gotta be real with you, I don't remember who the culprit in any of those games are, except for the last one.
You could probably play it, and I would be commentary, and you would get the surprises. Because I would be like, oh yeah, I remember where to go from now.
Yeah.
Once I'm in the zone.
Because I didn't play Spirit of Justice, I had to watch Spirit of Justice. I don't think I retained like all the like the puzzle information about Spirit of Justice. So I think that would be fun. I need to figure that out. That's a game. That's actually one you can play on your iPad these days.
Yeah.
Like it got an iOS release.
Mobile, yeah.
So I'll figure that out. How do you stream from an iPad?
There are ways. There's a setup because I was looking into it for Union Cross. Mm-hmm. There's ways you can do it through OBS and Streamlabs.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun. So we'll see. Keep your eyes peeled. That being said, news.
Stuff happened. A lot more stuff happened to us than actually we got to do.
That's fair.
So let's open up with one of the biggest ones, which is the biggest announcements and best trailers from Sony's PlayStation Showcase.
That was ridiculous.
That was a good showcase.
I was like really shocked. I thought like when they announced it, I was like, oh, it's gonna be like, I don't know.
It's gonna be like middling.
It's gonna be mostly like her. I thought it was gonna be mostly like. Honestly, there's going to be mostly Forbidden West gameplay.
Yeah, it's stuff we've already known about.
Yeah, but no, there was actually a shit ton of new stuff that got announced or got release dates.
We got Knights of the Old Republic is getting a remake.
We'll fucking see.
Excellent. Insomniac continues to be the best modern development in running right now.
Yeah.
They're like, we just put out we probably put out one of the best PS5 games of all time. The best Ratchet and Clank game ever. Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine.
Spider-Man 2 finally gets announced, and Wolverine is getting a fucking getting an Insomniac game.
Yeah, they were just like they showed that opening thing. It's like Insomniac, and it's just like the scene in the bar, and I'm like,
no.
Wait, is this no way? Is it? And it's just the guy's back, and he's got like the flannel shirt and the cowboy hat, and like.
Yes!
There's no way this is Wolverine. And then he pops the claws and it just says Wolverine.
It's like a dream come true.
So it's like, it's like, oh, Insomniac is just doing Marvel games.
They just do Marvel games now.
Yeah.
They have 11 shit-zillion dollars, and Sony still owns the rights to X-Men and Spider-Man. So they're like, fuck yeah, we're gonna use all of our billions of dollars to make some good ass Marvel games. Why not?
When Spider-Man 2 is showing off Kraven and Venom.
Yeah.
This looked sick. Shit.
Did they actually say like a release year for Spider-Man 2?
2023.
2023
is for Spider-Man 2.
And I guess next year for Wolverine?
Yeah, I'm betting Wolverine comes out, like, it's going to be their mid-game before that one. And then probably after Spider-Man 2, it's probably going to be Ratchet and Clank.
Okay, that's fair. That makes sense. So yeah, they have, that's like a huge studio now. They have the resources to do this. They have, like, I think it's like 500-600 employees. Their
output's been spectacular.
It's been incredible. It's been really, really good. I'm actually shocked by it. Like, how consistently good it is.
And hey, Naughty Dog, they don't grind their employees into fine powder.
Yeah.
Maybe you can think about that.
And they have like a varied output. Like, they're not just making like it's not, they haven't just been stuck in the Spider-Man mines. They still get to make like their Ratchet and Clank stuff too. Mm-hmm. Like they actually have a more like varied and colorful output of like lots of different types of games instead of just kind of the same game. Like The Last of Us and Uncharted are kind of the same game, even though like they're tonally extremely different. Like, it's still kind of the same systems running in the background.
Yeah.
So, that's maybe you could make another Jack game. Naughty Dog.
Yeah, maybe. I still think about that quote where he's like, "Boy, we would love to make a new Jack game." It's like, you're the vice president.
You can do that.
You can decide to do that.
You literally can say, "Oh yeah, we can just make a new Jack game. Let's do it."
What else happened? God of War Ragnarok got a new trailer.
Sure.
It looks pretty good.
Looks good.
Everyone is in love with God of War's Thor.
I am in love with the God of War's Thor. He's just a big old man. He's perfect.
They've also like stumbled upon the idea. It's like, what do you do to make your game appealing? Put a really tall person in it.
That's it. Put a tall lady in it, and you will make money off of your video game. Everybody likes tall ladies. That's why Elden Ring is gonna make 11 kajillion fucking dollars, is because they put a big woman in it. Everybody likes big women.
Forspoken got shown off. That actually looks pretty good.
I didn't know it was an isekai.
I did not either.
It's an isekai.
That was a surprise to me.
Extremely funny to me. It's a character action isekai.
Yeah.
Kinda.
With dragons and a dog.
I'm very interested in it. It looks, it's either gonna be, there are 3 options, right, for this. It's gonna be like a 10 out of 10. It's gonna be the best 7 out of 10 you've ever played in your entire life, right? Mm-hmm. Or it's gonna be complete dog shit.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, there is a 4th option, and that is that it is Drakengard. In that it plays like dog shit and runs like dog shit, but whatever the fuck is going on in the plot,
it could be a Drakengard.
it could be that, where like it's gonna run like trash because it's still running on the fucking Luminous engine. That's Square Enix's in-house engine that famously sucks ass or is extremely difficult to develop for. So we'll see. I'm excited. If either it's gonna be great or it's gonna be a fiasco, and both of those are extremely appealing to me. So.
I'll go with a 1, or a 7.
Yeah, it's like a 5 out of 10, but the plot elevates it like Nier, like the first Nier, you know. So please, that sounds great.
What else? Alan Wake is getting a remaster. We jumped on it too soon. We should have waited half a year.
We should have waited. Who knew? It's fine. We got it on sale and it was fun.
Ghostwire Tokyo got shown off.
Looks every time I see that game, it looks nothing like what I expect it to look like. Like, every time they show it, it's completely... I'm like, no, that's not what I thought this game was going to be.
No.
So...
it's still looking very BioShock to me.
Yes, very interesting. I'm really hoping it's good. Because it is Shinji Mikami's, right? It's his Tango Gameworks. It's his development company.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because what's her name left? Nakamura left.
Nakamura, yeah, but she still did some of the design work for it, but I do think it's still Tango Gameworks. Mm-hmm. And I would really like Tango to keep making things and not like get shuttered or something. So we'll see. Maybe it'll be good. I hope. Maybe it'll sell well.
Yeah. And then there was just a bunch of other, show off Gran Turismo, etc., etc.
Sure, of course. Gran Turismo getting advertised with JRPG music, which is really funny.
Which is weird.
Yeah, no, very, very reverent of the cars. It's like, oh, this is really epic. Do I want it? No, I'm not a car game. I'm not a car game person unless it's Burnout. I would like a new Burnout, however. Thank you.
Let's see. So Apple and Epic both lost today.
Yay!
We love to see it.
Perfect.
We love to see where both sides lose out.
Everybody, so explain it to. Do you have notes on it?
I have the article here. So,
So the way I understand it...
Here's the quote. In a win for developers, but not Epic, Gonzalez-Rogers ruled for a permanent nationwide injunction blocking Apple not only from keeping iPhone users in the dark about alternate ways they can pay, but potentially allowing developers to actually stick their own purchase mechanisms in their own apps.
Nice.
So they're blocked from preventing users from like buying stuff in game rather than through the iOS.
Okay, cool. That's great. But then also Epic got fucked because Epic Fortnite is banned basically for the next 5 years from the Apple Store, which I think is extremely funny.
Because it's a separate thing from what Epic went after Apple for in the first place.
Right.
It's just during the court case, the judge was like, by the way, you did breach contract with Apple.
Right.
So we're keeping Epic off the App Store.
Cool. I love it. I love it. Both billion-dollar companies lose, which is perfect. That's exactly how it should always be.
Epic, so quote, Epic also directly lost some $3.6 million, which it has to pay to Apple. That's because Epic made roughly $12.2 million in revenue with the direct payment mechanism it injected into Fortnite against Apple's rules.
Okay.
And they decided Apple gets 30% of that cut. So everyone loses.
Except us. We win. I am actually really stunned that the judge in this case... So, when this case started, the judge kind of was very obviously not...
It was
well-versed in video games.
It was Phoenix Wright-esque, where he's like, what is Fortnite?
What is a Fortnite? What is a video game? Like, he was not... God love him. The judge was clearly not that well-versed in, like, the mechanics of video games. And I think that's kind of what Epic and Apple were both hoping for.
Yeah.
They wanted a judge that didn't understand video games because that would give them... potentially an advantage in the court. But it turns out over the course of the actual trial, the judge managed to kind of grok the situation extremely well. And ultimately, like, his... I think there's some stuff in his ruling about, like, the nature of video games, like what constitutes a video game, that is very funny if you go and read his statements about it. But, like, he really does come out in favor of being like, yeah, video games are varied, they're a land of contrasts. And he came out understanding the case extremely well and ruled in a pretty good way. Like, breach of contract is breach of contract. So, Epic gets fucked, but Apple can't block users from using an external store, so Apple also gets fucked.
Yeah.
Everybody wins. It's perfect.
Yeah, and I think that helped because this court case was about money and not necessarily about a video game.
Yeah, exactly. It was about contracts.
Yes, they were hoping he would get focused in on the video game part of it, and it's like, oh, well, no. Oh, so you don't buy them in the video? Oh, you buy them outside? Okay, well, I understand that part.
Yeah, it's contract law. That's super... I mean, it's not simple. Contract law is actually insanely complicated. But that's the thing that most judges understand more than a video game,
Yeah.
So, awesome. I love it. We love to see billion-dollar companies get fucked, folks.
It's great.
It's perfect.
That's perfect. So Alan Wake Remastered is ditching the Energizer batteries in Verizon billboards.
Yes. Perfect.
This was pretty obvious, and it's part of the reason why Alan Wake was gone for so long is because of the product placement.
Sure. We really should have waited a couple months.
Good news, though. The licensed music will not be removed.
Oh, good. Okay.
That will stick around.
Awesome.
Which is what we would prefer anyway.
We want the good music to stay. We want the stupid product placement to go.
Yeah.
So, good for them.
It didn't really work out in Energizer's favor anyway because the batteries in Alan Wake don't last very long.
They die all the time. Yeah, that's the whole gameplay gimmick. You don't want your product associated with that. Yeah. So I'm mostly just glad that development company is
Remedy. Right?
Remedy.
Yeah.
Thank you. It seems like Remedy is making it.
Yeah, they're doing pretty good.
They're making it as being like a semi-triple, kind of
double A
high
batteries.
Funny. The higher tier double A development studio, and they're actually kind of making it and making money off of things without necessarily having to rely on being purchased by an EA or an Ubisoft or something like that. So that's good. I guess Control. I mean, they did make a shit zillion dollars off of Epic paying for Control on the Epic Game Store, but it's still working out for them. So, we love to see studios not have to rely on these big, massive publishers in order to make their higher quality kind of
higher
games.
tier.
Yeah, so good for them.
So if Remedy couldn't get the license for the music, what would you say is the best alternative to not getting licensed music in your game if you have to re-release it or put it out?
Personally, I would get a good ass composer and make some good stuff in house. Mm-hmm. I think if you can't have your licensed music, then you pay to get some good in-house
something
stuff
that still
made.
kind of evokes the feeling you would want for that moment in the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's not what Life is Strange True Colors did.
Oh no.
Life is Strange True Colors streamer mode leads to some incredibly awkward silence, is this article. Which is, streamer mode is, the thing you have to put in a lot of your games now, especially these indie titles that are basically streaming fodder, they're Twitch fodder.
Right, yeah, of course.
So what do you do when Twitch is super, super diligent about flagging your videos and removing you from the internet if you have any licensed music in them? They just take the music out and there's just silence. So there is a sequence in True Colors where Radiohead songs play and it's a moment. It's not it's not in a jukebox, whatever. It's a scene in the thing where the song is important to for the character to sing and to dance along with.
Right.
And there's just silence in streamer mode.
Oh my god.
There's just
that makes me want to die. Even thinking about that makes me want to die. It's so the awkwardness of it must be unbearable.
Because it's a sequence. It's a whole thing.
It's an emotional moment.
And there's just nothing playing.
Oh my god. It was when what we streamed that one time? It was an E3 thing where we had the streamer version.
Oh, when Guardians came out and they had
shitty,
Yeah, they had
it was
generic...
It was the
Square
Enix show at E3.
And
it was dog shit.
Someone in our chat was on this stream they have licensed music being played too. And it's oh, okay, well, yeah. But it's like, they played something. They had, like, a song.
No, remember? Because at one point they were playing, like, they were doing, like, a Final Fantasy thing, and there was just nothing.
Oh, yeah, that's right!
And it was Misery.
Yeah!
Square Enix actually... No, that's... Square Enix publishes Life is Strange.
Yeah, that's them. Just
make some in-house music. You're Square Enix. You have the money to pay like a decent composer to make some like in-house like a cover or something.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Just
what Twitch is such a mess these days. Like there really is no.
And
there's like no benefit to streaming anymore.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that like, you know, you're streaming it for an audience. Like, you want this moment to hit as hard as possible.
Yeah, exactly. You want it to hit so that, like... Because ostensibly, the people who are playing Life is Strange... I mean, there are obviously fans, too, but a lot of people who play Life is Strange on stream got it from Square Enix. This is essentially, like, an advertisement for the game on Twitch. And you can't even make, like, a decent streamer mode. Like, you just have, like, awkward silence. Like... who would subject themselves to that?
Right?
Awful. Stupid. Extremely stupid.
I'm so mad at Twitch for being like this.
It's such dog shit. They don't even try. Like
I booted up Melody of Memory recently because one of my other Discords, the group I was in Union Cross with, opened up their own Discord group because it was like, oh, we want to stay in touch. So we did like some Melody of Memory recently.
Sure.
And it's like, if you go to just like the jukebox, you get that this game can no longer be streamed or recorded, you know, pop-up thing that comes up.
You own that music.
I know.
You own that music. Why are you...
And I have to wonder if it's because the opening to Lion King and Let It Go are in the soundtrack.
That's probably why. Yeah, that is almost certainly why.
Yeah.
Now that you say that, ugh.
It's so dumb.
Just disable those songs or something. Whatever.
Yeah, or just Twitch stop being assholes and like stop.
It's
cracking down.
It's
on this.
Way messier than that though, because it's all about like recording companies who own the rights to this music. Like
what band was it that had their own concert flag?
Oh, it's the funniest band possible. It's Metallica.
That's right, it was Metallica!
One of the bands responsible basically for, like, the creation of, like, the modern, like, internet hellscape of, like, constantly having your music DMCA claimed. Like, yeah, no, it's Metallica. They got it done to themselves. I think that's the funniest possible karma in the universe because, like, the reason, like, the long history of how we got where we are with like music on the internet being such a nightmare and Twitch being such a wasteland of copyrighted music is in part due in fact to the fact of like lawsuits that Metallica filed against like Napster 20 years ago.
I fucking hate Metallica.
Oh no, their music all sucks these days anyways, and they're all hacks, and yeah, they deserve what they get, and it's just like the Twitch thing. Like Twitch has the money to settle this, obviously, because they're owned by Amazon these days, but they don't want to because that'll cost money. But like this is a way bigger problem than just like Twitch. Than just Twitch. Like this is a recording company thing. This is like it's a lot of factors.
This is a symptom of leading to you don't actually own anything you buy anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's all kind of they're all tied together at this point, and it's super messy. It sucks.
Yeah, it's infuriating, really. 'Cause when you're trying to like stream things and you're trying to actually make like a go of it. Mm-hmm. They're preventing you from doing that because they can just in an instant take you down.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just, it's extremely frustrating because it's kind of all part of this new shitty internet that we all live on, where we all go to the same 6 websites and you can't even post like the things you want to post anymore because somebody will get pissed off and be like, well, you're not paying me money for it. Everything is based around like money and exposure and shit. Like that sucks. I hate it. I hate this internet.
Looking at like our videos that we post, like our streams and whatnot. It's like, oh, demonetized.
It's fine. I don't care if my
I don't care, but it's just like it's an annoyance.
It is an annoyance.
See that it's like,
absolutely.
okay, well, you know, there are people who do make their career out of this,
right? Yeah,
and it's like, well, what are they supposed to do about it?
I guess that's when you just hope you have a really good Patreon.
Yeah.
So patreon.com/thegorge.
Yeah, help us out with that. That one's still Patreon is still all right, I guess.
So far, and we'll see.
Every time Patreon tries to do something stupid, they're like, nope.
Never mind. Never mind. People get real mad.
So we have some good news, though. We have Power Rangers Battle for the Grid Season 4 trailer.
Okay.
Featuring Adam Park, Poisandra, and Rita Repulsa.
Yes, after 10,000 years, I'm free! Time to beat everybody's asses in a fighting game.
They did, in fact, get Johnny Young Bosch to do Adam again.
Oh, that's great.
He's in his ninja outfit from the movie.
Okay.
Like the black ninja thing. And watching this trailer is kind of amazing at how good this game ended up being.
No, it is like such a love letter.
If you want Marvel, you can play Battle for the Grid.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Marvel in this.
Right.
And Johnny Young Bosch even confirmed that he's like, yeah, a lot of my quotes and battle cries are references to other fighting games. Like, they know.
Right.
They know. They did get, they got Virgil. And so now you can't make a team of Nero and Virgil.
Yeah. So it is very funny that, like, one of my favorite things that we've been seeing lately are these, like, like the Nickelodeon Smash clone, right? Where it's like the people who are making these games are like, no, we just want to make the games we played when we were younger, that, like, the developers who made them aren't making them this way anymore. So, like, fuck it. We're going to get, like, a licensed title, and we're going to make the fighting game we always dreamed of with these, like, licensed titles. It's extremely funny. It owns.
Yeah, and I love, like, the presentation that Battle for the Grid has. Like, getting all these old actors to come back and do voice lines. Everyone looks different. They're not just pulling, like, oh, it's the Mighty Morphin cast and then, like, 4 or 5 guys from other scenes. Like, no, we have, like, there's no, like, one solid team. It's all characters from different eras and villains and stuff.
Yeah, it's not just, like, nostalgia mining. It's, like, actual, like, if you really, if you're a Power Rangers person, there's stuff from, like, every era. It's really cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm actually, like, might pick this up because, like, looking at the way Adam plays is, like, super cool. He has a doppelganger, so it's like, okay, so you're leaning a little bit into Nero.
That's so cool. That's awesome. Just everybody, like I said, all video games is improved with the addition of a little bit of Devil May Cry. People
were like, it is kind of a shame that Dante didn't play like a character. He was like a stuntman.
Yeah.
Like, it's a shame that he's not like a villain or something.
Right.
So you can't make a trio.
It's a shame. It's a damn shame.
I know. But this isn't on the doc, but speaking of the Nickelodeon Smash thing, they confirmed that, Nickelodeon didn't give us the budget for voice acting, but if it sells well enough, we're in the talks to release it as DLC.
I did see that, so I'm hoping it does well enough to justify to getting some voices in, because, like, that's the one thing.
That's like the appeal of it, is, they're cartoon characters, you want to hear them talk.
Right, so hopefully, I mean, it's got a lot of hype behind it, so maybe it'll make the money and we'll get a voice pack, so we'll see.
The mechanics they're showing off are, like, way more intricate than you would expect.
Yeah, I know. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like people who grew up playing, like, Smash are like, well, we're just gonna do it. We're gonna make our own fighting game. Damn it.
Speaking of making your own thing, Doom Mod resurrects Margaret Thatcher as a Cyberdemon.
Yes! So, now do Ronald Reagan.
There is a WAD where you go to Thatcher's tech base. And you fight her as a giant Cyberdemon. And yes, this is what we need video games to have.
Absolutely. This is the world we've always dreamed of. Like I said, now do a mod for Ronald Reagan. Yeah. It will be perfect. He can be the next Cyberdemon you have to fight, and we'll get our revenge one way or another. Quote
from this article and also from the mod's official description. Faced with the return of one of humanity's greatest threats, you have no choice but to head to the 10th circle of Hell, the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Yes. Doom guy on his way to destroy the British people, in finger quotes.
Where's Ronald Reagan?
Perfect.
Oh, it's great. This is exactly what we want to see. This is the on-the-nose politics that we expect out of Doom.
Absolutely. No, that's just catharsis, baby. I too want to hunt Margaret Thatcher and Ronald Reagan for sport. They're dead, so I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah. You don't even have to add in Minecraft.
No, I don't have to
dead.
say parody Minecraft, redacted. Mm-hmm. I can just say I would like to hunt Margaret Thatcher for sport.
Yeah.
With a BFG, if at all possible. So, that's cool.
Yeah, this is exactly what you expect from the Doomslayer, the guy who opened fire on his commanding officer for telling him to shoot civilians.
Yeah, exactly. So, this man owns. Perfect.
That's how it be. YouTube duo finds $100,000 worth of vintage games in a hoarder's abandoned house.
Okay.
So
I didn't see this one.
Yeah, this is a kind of a mild, like a smaller thing, but it's two YouTubers who do a channel called Cheap Finds Gold Mines. Mm-hmm. Who they're just like they go to garage sales and flea markets and whatnot and like find the treasure that people just don't know what they're selling.
Right.
So they went to a hoarder's house, and the list of some of the stuff in there was factory sealed copies of Wind Waker, Drakengard, even a Resident Evil 4 chainsaw controller.
Wow.
In box. So.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so and it's a very gross video.
Sure, because hoarder house. I've been in a hoarder's house before. So when I was younger, my brother and I used to explore abandoned houses, like for funsies, and when you live out in the country, there's tons of old abandoned houses, right? Mm-hmm. And we went to one. It was really cool. It was like mad spooky. And then the next day we went and we were like, okay, well, let's go to another one near my old house the next day. And we go and it was a hoarder house. It had been like a hoarder's house that had been totally, abandoned at some point to the point that they demolished that house a couple months later. They just tore it down because it was so disgusting. But like just packed to the ceiling with just trash. Mm-hmm. The floor had caved in.
Oh God!
And
you told me about this.
We were so stupid. We went. When you're young, you do extremely stupid shit, and then when you get older, you go,
"Oh, we could have died.
I could have died. Why did I do that?" We went to the second floor of this rotted out. Mm-hmm. Hoarder house.
You're like, one floor is gone. I bet the top floor's okay, though.
It's fine. Yeah, we literally went up the stairs to this, to the second floor of this house. And I think now, at one point, try it. Like, my brother and I are walking across the floors, and it's like, these floors are really creaky and soft. Well, let's keep exploring. And I'm like an adult woman now, and I'm like, what was I thinking? I was like 20... I don't know. I was like 24 then, so I probably should have known better.
At 24, I was expecting like 16.
No, buddy. No. Like 24, 25. And
so we were friends by that point.
Yeah, and I did stupid shit like that. Trey was like, you want to go look at this abandoned house? And I was like, yeah, let's go. It was a bad idea. We could have died. Like, that house was super rotted through. And we're just like, yeah, let's go look upstairs and walk around. But eventually we left because, the first haunted house, the first house we went to was like fun spooky. Mm-hmm. It was very serene, out in the country, big old farmhouse had been totally abandoned.
There was people had lived here and there was history in this house.
Yeah, it was very. We went out. It was spooky in the way that all haunted old abandoned houses are kind of spooky. But it was very serene, very quiet. It was a nice day. So we were just like, oh yeah, this is nice. And did I tell you about the chair in that house?
Yes, you did.
Okay, if I've never told this story on podcast, I'm gonna tell it now. So the house was so old that we actually couldn't get the front door open. Because it had, like, the hinges had rusted. But we were able to kind of jimmy the door open enough to just try and peek inside. And so there was, like, an entrance foyer, and then you could see from there into the kitchen. And in the kitchen, there was a TV on the countertop and, like, an old high-backed lounge chair. And the way that some, like, old stuff had been arranged on the chair, I swear to God, it looked like a person sitting in it.
Yeah.
And I just, like, looked at it, and I just went, like that, and my brother saw it, and he freaked out, too, and then we realized, like, it was just it was like a coat thrown over the couch.
Right, yeah.
But it was, like, for a second, I saw the devil.
Yeah, you saw a body in there.
I saw a body, and I was just like, oh my God, we're about to die. Like, that's a demon. That's not or it's like a ghost or a monster. It's not a person. So, yeah, but no, that house was really cool. But, like, the Hoarder house, we walked into it instantly, the worst vibes I've ever felt in my entire
I'll bet.
life. Like, instantly, just, like, bad mojo. And we were just like, this feels gross. Let's leave. But not before we went up the stairs and nearly killed ourselves.
I guess so.
Because we're stupid. Whatever.
So, on that note, a quote from this article. The pair are not pickers by trade and admit they were ill-prepared for their search when they arrived at the house. Sans, gloves, and wearing shorts and casual shoes.
Oh, guys, no.
The video is in the link. If you can stomach, like, hoarder houses, you might want to check it out.
Did you watch it?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not look. I like, started it, and I'm like, no, actually, I can't do that.
Okay.
But, if you can, the video's in there. Heavy Rain developer Quantic Dream rumored to be making a Star Wars game.
I'm actually excited just for the train wreck. I will not be purchasing the Star Wars game, of course, but it will be a disaster and it will suck. And I mean, like, Star Wars should continue to take some L's.
Yeah.
Because I think it's funny how bad Star Wars is these days.
Yep.
I do think it's extremely funny because, like, Disney paid several $1 billion for this franchise and then just immediately fucked it. And I think that's hilarious. Like, they're like, oh yeah, we spent all this money and we don't know what to do with it, so let's ruin it. It's
like for every Mandalorian or Visions they put out, they have to put out like 3 or 4 things that are just trash.
Yeah, we gotta make a solo. We gotta make this fucking this Quantic Dream Star Wars game that is going to be ass.
So let's play. What is your prediction for this game?
Ooh, what is my prediction?
What's gonna be the thing about this game?
Oh God. Probably the most wretched thing in this game will be well, it won't be rated M because
it's Star Wars.
It's Star Wars. They can't. No. So we can't have any of the fun, shitty David Cage-ness in it. So I do think it'll still have, like, really ham-handed, like, trying to do racism allegories or something like that.
Ooh. But it'll be like an alien species.
It'll be like an alien species instead. It's gonna be wretched. Yeah.
I have a feeling there's gonna be, like, an important element of this thing that is just completely contradictory to something, like, major in Star Wars.
Oh God, yeah. I look forward to David Cage trying to wrap his head around, like, the concept of the Force.
Yeah.
It's because it's gonna be awful. It's gonna be way too, because it's not like the Force is not necessarily, like, a religious thing, but David Cage is going to take it like it's a religious thing. So please look forward to that misery.
Oh, it's gonna be bad. Like, there's gonna be a bit where, like, a Force ghost, like, interacts with a physical object or something. Like, you're talking to a Force ghost and it just, like, picks up a cup.
If we could have an M-rated Star Wars game, you would get a Force ghost sex scene.
Ooh.
I'm right.
You are.
I'm so right. But unfortunately, No, we don't. It won't be. I mean, it'll be trash.
Yeah,
but it won't be as trashy as it could be because it can't be rated M.
He can't make it gross.
He can't make it gross
because Disney is there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it won't be as vile as all of his other games because, like, you know, you can't have your requisite David Cage thinks like sexual assault scene is like drama. You know, like there won't be any of that. Like there is in every other David Cage game. Like. So it'll be tame in that way, but it'll still be wretched.
There's gonna be a scene that still feels really, really uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh man, there'll be something that just make you feel like, oh no.
Like you're gonna get like a female Jedi and someone's gonna like suck out her force or like her force powers.
Oh
or
yeah.
Something.
Oh my god. Totally, and it'll just be like the most uncomfortable scene.
It'll be like framed really, really, really bad.
Yeah, absolutely. He's gonna find a way to make it creepy. Even without an M rating, he's gonna find a way to make it creepy. Please look forward to that.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see just how bad a David Cage game can be when he has to like filter himself through that.
Yeah.
Like, how does he get around the things he really wants to do when he just can't?
When there's, like, a Disney employee standing behind him with a gun at all times and be like, no, the mouse says you can't.
This is the first time where the mouse is actually in the right.
In the battle between David Cage and Disney, I actually find myself rooting for Disney in this case.
Like, usually when it's like, we want to do this, and they're like, Disney says no, it's like, oh, come on, you're ruining creative vision. It's like, no, in this situation, please ruin David Cage's creative vision.
At every step possible, please ruin David Cage's creative vision. Oh, God. Okay.
The new gaming console that's become a giant car crash explained. This is a very lengthy article, in-depth article about the Intellivision Amico.
Ooh, absolutely. Give me some highlights, my friend.
So, let's see here. It had an initial release date of October 10th, 2020.
Whoop, whoop.
Right on the start of the article. It was announced in 2018, by the way, as well.
Okay.
This is Tommy Tallarico's console. He had a thing at E3 and I watched it. It was very lackluster.
Oh, I am not surprised.
There's nothing at all interesting about it. It's supposed to be $250 to $300 for pre-order right now.
What?
But games will be $20.
Okay.
So if you don't know much about it, the idea of it is that it's a family-friendly console that is mostly meant for like little kids and grandparents. You know, kind of like if you took the idea of Wii Sports and expanded it into like a whole thing.
Except like there's so much stupid shit going on with it too.
Yeah, the idea, the pitch of it is not something I'm necessarily opposed to. Like whatever, there's a zillion baby consoles for children, you know, your Leapfrogs or your whatever.
Right, yeah. Your like plug and play stuff.
Yeah. But Tommy Tallarico is heading this.
And he's a madman.
And he's a very bad person.
Yes.
And I don't mean like he's necessarily like morally bad. I mean that he's bad at being a person. In that he makes terrible decisions. All the time.
That's so funny.
And he's very thin-skinned about this, so he gets constantly picks fights with people who criticize the Amico. Like goes out of his way to name search and to hunt that down.
Oh yeah, he's one of those. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like getting hit with delays, with weird development decisions. Mm-hmm. Like they're like there's like mandates for like what games can be on it. But he's like nothing 3D. Mm-hmm. It has to have multiplayer. Or it has to be like between 2 to 4 players.
You can't do DLC. You can't do post-release patches.
Yeah.
But also the profit cut structure of the Amico is a scam.
Yeah.
They get like they get like 70%.
It's a ridiculous number that actively discourages developers for making games on it. Yeah, they're not going to make any money off of
it. Because the games can't be more than $20.
Yeah.
And they can't put out DLC, or like there can't be microtransactions to make up for the amount of money they're losing by putting things on the Amico. Like because of this like extremely shitty price sharing or profit sharing structure, like the you're only going to get like the most cheaply made garbage imaginable.
Yeah.
You'll get like a bunch of ports and shit too, because that won't, But like this game, like for one, this thing is never fucking coming out.
No, and one of the things about this article goes into is about how like the development cycle for games and for the console itself are so they're dragging so much that like they've been reusing footage from 2019 in their new trailers for stuff
absolutely.
Because they don't have anything else.
It's a scam. It's a scam console, like 100%. Like it just feels like a money laundering scheme. It feels like the producers, like we're gonna make a console so bad that we'll make a shit ton of money.
He has the 10 Commandments of game design, which is where a lot of these mandates come from.
Yeah, they're really bad.
They're like atrocious, really.
They are inscrutable.
Yeah. So here's the list of them. Every game must be rated E or E10 plus. It's for babies. That makes sense. Whatever. Every game must be playable with very little instructions, which is meaningless.
Like, yeah. What does that even mean?
Every game must be balanced to allow players with very different ability levels to still have fun. Again, meaningless.
That's just pablum.
Every game must rate 7 out of 10 or above on Intellivision's quality control scale.
Although you should know that Intellivision has not actually told the developers
what that scale is. Every game must cost less than $10.
Oh, God.
Every game...
That's even worse than...
Yeah.
It's not $20.
They're not going to profit anything off of this.
So that means that Intellivision is getting... I don't remember if the cut is 50% or 70%, but it's a huge cut. Like, it's
50%. It says at the bottom here. 50% of third-party sales revenue.
50. So you're making $5 per game sold on your console.
And this is the article here is compare that to the already iffy 30 to 15% Apple takes from game devs.
Yeah, Apple takes 30 to 15. Steam takes 30. Epic takes 12. And I think Sony and Microsoft take like 20 to 30.
Yeah.
So like this is way, way higher, and you're allowed to charge way more money on all those other storefronts. This is way higher.
So you're
than like any other like profit sharing.
You're taking 50% of $10 versus 30% of $60.
Exactly.
Ridiculous. So the rest. Every game must support the official Intellivision controllers. I mean, I would hope so.
But the controllers are really weird. If you haven't seen seen the Amico, they're like touch controllers.
They're like really weird touchpad controllers, but they have buttons on them too. And they're using technology that's like 5 to 6 years old. Yeah, and they're really bad. The controllers have a touch screen. They're like touch screen controllers. But the controllers can't support like high resolution, like any kind of higher resolution image file. Like everything has to be in the kilobytes. Mm-hmm. So like they're very dated is the important part. Every game must be 2D or 2.5D. 3D models are okay, but no free roaming 3D worlds. Every game must be an Intellivision exclusive. Even ports must be unique in some way. Yeah, no. That means nobody's going to put anything on your console. Because, no one is going to take the time to put their game on the Intellivision. Yeah, and make it from scratch. Yeah, if it means they can't port it to, like, a real console or a PC or anything. No in-game purchasing or DLC. Every game must try to incorporate local multiplayer or two-player mode if possible. So no DLC. That means that you only can ever make the $5 that you make off the initial sale of the game. No, nothing like that. And then, no ability to patch or update if anything breaks. Nope. And it's a scam console. And none of these consoles, because there's been a bunch of third party or like minor
Sure.
consoles. None of them make the kind of money that the big three make.
No.
Not even close to it.
No.
And usually, at least those have a purpose. Like the leapfrogs or whatever are like for very little kids, and it's something for them to play with. It's better than giving your kid your phone.
Right.
It's big, it's bulky, and it has big buttons for them to push on.
Sure.
This, I don't know who this is for.
I have no idea who this is for. Like, no clue.
I don't know who would want to get this when they could just be like, I'll get a Switch and play, 1-2 Switch or whatever, party, 101 party games.
Yeah, exactly.
They put on that.
No, it just totally feels like a scam console. It was just there to take investor money and run.
But which investors?
Who knows? There are so many stupid fucking investors out there in the world. If you walk into a boardroom with even like a slightest bit of confidence and more understanding of video games than the people who you're asking for money from, you can just be like, yeah, I'm the guy who made the music for Earthworm Jim.
Yeah.
And people will write you a check for that. Like, it's all just a scam.
Yeah.
Totally.
Absolutely. But it's like, this isn't like the Ubisoft thing where like this is a well-established company, doing this. Like, does he have any faith in... Like, yes, he's so defensive of this product that it feels like he's either legitimately invested in making this a success because he actually wants to make something for little kids to play, or he's in debt to the mob.
He's probably in debt Tommy Tallarico is absolutely in debt to the mob. If anybody would be, it's that man. He looks like a Grand Theft Auto character.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He literally looks like and I mean by a Grand Theft Auto character, I mean like Grand Theft Auto 3.
Mm-hmm. Like, he looks like he's from 2003.
Yeah.
And he has his entire life.
Yeah, his whole life. He's looked exactly the same. It's very strange. Very strange, man. Very strange console.
So, I'm excited. I'm excited for this thing to finally sputter its way into existence.
And then just instantly crash and burn.
Yeah, and so we can see, like, cost and then profit.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely want to see how many, how few, I should say, sell.
I don't think it'll hit 4 digits.
Oh, no. No, I
don't
think so.
think it'll sell even 1,000 units.
I would be shocked if it sold, 1,000 units. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think. I think it'll be a huge fiasco. But I love fiascos, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. This isn't even the kind of thing someone would buy as a joke to stream on,
right. Oh, yeah, because, like, I doubt it even has the ability to stream.
No, of course not. It's probably directly plug in, and there's no way to, like, connect it to anything else.
Yeah, I would be shocked.
Tim Cook says employees who leak memos do not belong at Apple, according to leaked memo.
That one's just funny.
That's just the article title that I just wanted to say out loud.
No, it's great. Yeah.
So, the article itself is nothing. It's just Apple, people are leaking from private information from Apple.
Sure.
And they're mad about it. And
it's
like
funny.
It's vaguely connected to the Epic versus Apple case.
Sure.
But it's just like a follow-up on that. Finally, though, we did get something pretty cool yesterday. Nintendo Direct was just like, here's a Direct.
Yeah, didn't have the last Smash character like everyone was expecting.
That is coming out on the 5th of October, along with information about the new Animal Crossing content. They're putting Brewster's back in the museum, which is what people have been asking for like 2 years now.
Sure, yeah, we love always quick on the draw. That Nintendo, Nintendo always striking when the iron is fucking cold.
Also, people are like upset that it's because it's like, oh, they're putting out the Smash information on the same day that All-Star comes out. And it's like, Nintendo doesn't know that Nickelodeon All-Stars exists.
No, they have no perception of it whatsoever.
They're not doing this out of concern that they'll lose sales.
No.
They don't care.
They have no idea that this thing exists. 100%.
But we did get some cool stuff.
Sure.
Kirby and the Forgotten Land is the first fully 3D Kirby game.
Nice.
Which is basically Kirby is going to near Automata Land.
Hell yeah.
And he's in like this ruined city with like vines, plants and then plant life overgrowing everything.
Sure.
And you want him out. I watched the trailer. It looks very Mario Odyssey-esque, like in terms of like how it plays.
Sure.
So I'm excited for that.
It'll be fun.
They're putting N64 and Genesis games on Switch Online.
Finally.
But you're gonna have to pay a little bit more to get them.
Of course.
So, no. But you can get N64 and Sega Genesis controllers for the Switch.
Oh, I can't wait to play an N64 controller again. Yeah, those are words that any human being has said. I can't wait to hold that fucking thing in my hands again.
So we're streaming Goemon, and I'm like holding my PS4 controller because that's what I use for my PC, and I'm like, this is so much better.
Imagine playing N64 games with a functioning controller, right?
It feels so weird to pick one up nowadays.
Oh, I know.
They're just your hands just don't feel like they're in the right position.
I don't even know how we played it as a kid.
We had to. It was the only thing you had.
But I don't know how we did it because like now I hold this controller and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this?
I only know of one game that actually used the D-pad, and it was Mischief Makers. I don't think there's any other game I played on the N64 that used the D-pad.
Yeah, like to this day, I look at it, and I mean, I played like a shit ton of Ocarina of Time when I was a kid, but I look through my memories, I enter my mind palace, and I try to become like a small child again, playing Ocarina of Time, and no matter how much I dig in that mind palace, I do not find the memory of how my childhood self held that controller and was comfortable.
It's awful.
It's awful.
It's amazing. There is news.
There is news.
There is news. Bayonetta 3 got a trailer and a release window of 2022.
Oh my god.
Did you watch the trailer at all?
I haven't watched. I've seen her new design. I like it.
So people are looking at her new design, and you've played Bayo 1 significantly, right?
Yeah.
So you recognize that her hair looks like Cereza's, right?
Yeah.
So they've already confirmed she has a new voice actress in this game.
Okay.
Because like her voice actress is on Twitter, and they're like, "Oh, are you excited for Bayonetta 3?" And she's like, "I'm not in it." So
yikes.
And she, with her new design, she looks younger.
Right.
And you remember the very first thing we saw of Bayo 3, which was Bayo getting her ass kicked by something?
I don't remember.
I know, because it was like 4 years ago.
It was a shit zillion years ago, yeah.
The first trailer we got was like Bayonetta getting beaten up by something.
Okay.
And, Kamiya has the thing where he's like, Bayonetta cannot be shown getting hurt in cutscenes.
Right.
So it's like, oh shit, something's... it's like Dante can't get shown getting knocked down.
Right.
So people are theorizing that this is Cereza. Like a grown-up Cereza in 3.
It could be. I mean, but then, like, it's still just like... I don't know. I'm a little iffy. I mean, like, it'd be cool if it is a grown-up Cereza, but it still, like, sucks to not have, like, Bayo's original voice actor in it.
Yeah, that's why the thing, like, Bayo herself it'll be DMC4. Like, Bayo herself will show up later.
Right, okay.
So, like, they're thinking the playable character we've seen so far is just Cereza.
Okay.
So that's why she has a different voice actor.
That would be interesting. Yeah, I really like the new design. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. And I hope it comes out in 2022.
Also, they showed off a silhouette of a character who looks like Jean.
Okay.
And she looks like she's just embraced being Virgil.
Oh, thank God.
So
thank God. I like this idea of a girls-only version of Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Like, yes, please, give me that.
But the gameplay looks... It's Bayonetta.
It
looks as cool as you would expect it to.
Of course, absolutely.
She does have a devil trigger now where she turns into a butterfly lady.
Yay!
So, yeah. Be excited for that eventually. It'll come out.
There is news. There is finally news, folks.
The count was... Let me just pull up the Twitter account right now to see what day...
I think it was 1368.
It was... No, it was day 1385. Almost to 1400 days without news.
That's amazing. There's finally news. Almost 1400 days. Oh my God.
There is news.
Good for them. Good for Bayo fans. They're finally eating. They've been starving for years now.
Splatoon 3 got shown off too. You showed your typical sizzle reel of multiplayer stuff. Mm-hmm. Then they showed off the single player stuff.
Oh, really?
Which is looking way more artsy than I would think Splatoon would look.
Splatoon has an extremely artsy fan base, though.
Yeah.
Like, Splatoon fans are very creative people, because I see a lot of the art on Twitter and stuff. And I don't know what it is that, like, inspires people so much about Splatoon. I mean, good for them. Everybody should have a muse. But it makes sense in a way for Splatoon to be more, like, kind of creative because, like, the kind of people who are playing it. So, like, yeah, I'm interested in an actual, like, hopefully having a decent single player mode.
Yeah, the single player is titled Return of the Mammalians.
Okay.
And we've seen, like, characters who have, like, fur and hair, like, all over them.
Instead of being squid kids.
Yeah, so, interesting. Curious. Because for up until now, I think the only mammal in Splatoon was a cat that got frozen and rethawed in the future.
Okay.
So yeah, that'll be excited. And yeah, Smash announcement for the 5th of October.
Okay.
Along with Animal Crossing on the same day. I think it's the same day.
Okay.
But it's sometime in October, either way.
Anything else?
Mario Party Superstar just showed off a few more returning maps and mini games and stuff.
Sure.
Classic Knights of the Old Republic is getting ported to Switch.
Interesting.
Castlevania Advance Collection is out now with 4 Game Boy Advance games.
Cool.
ActRaiser Renaissance, remaster of ActRaiser, is on Switch now.
Okay.
Project Triangle Strategy is now just called Triangle Strategy.
I can't believe it.
And I win. They're just calling it Triangle Strategy as they should.
Such a bad name. Oh my god.
Metroid Dread got a story trailer. Ooh, Yoko Taro is putting out a card-based RPG on the Switch in October.
Huh.
And by card-based, I mean everything is cards.
Wait, what?
The town map is cards.
Oh, that's cute.
You go to a card on like a tabletop to go to your shop, and you buy cards that are your items and equipment.
Oh, cute.
The player characters are all cards. The enemies are cards. Everything is cards.
Oh my god. Okay.
It is called Voice of Cards: The Isle Dragon Roars.
Okay.
It looks phenomenal. It looks so cool. Super Rush is getting Koopa Troopa and Ninja as playable characters and some new courses. That's out now. Mm-hmm. Deltarune Chapter 2 is on Switch now.
Oh, good.
Chocobo GP is Mario Kart, but Final Fantasy characters. Mm-hmm. Disco Elysium is on Switch. It's coming to Switch in October.
Bizarre-ass system to put Disco Elysium on, but everybody should play Disco Elysium, so it's fine.
And then some other, just stuff. Shadowrun Trilogy, some other ports, etc., etc. And Miyamoto himself was so happy
we do have to talk about this, don't we?
To announce the cast and release date for the Super Mario Brothers movie.
I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to think about this.
This sounds like a shitpost. This sounds like a 4chan V-thread.
I wish I was dead every single day. It's so bad.
It's coming out December 21st, 2022. The voice cast we have so far. Chris Pratt will be playing Mario.
Oh my god.
Charlie Day will be playing Luigi. Jack Black will be playing Bowser. Keegan-Michael Key will be playing Toad. Seth Rogen will be playing Donkey Kong. Anya Taylor-Joy will be playing Peach. And Charles Martinet will be voicing random characters.
Oh my god. What a nightmare. It is like a shitpost, isn't it? It feels like somebody on 4chan made a post, be like, here's the voice cast that could piss people off the most.
If you had to select the names that would aggravate the most people.
Absolutely.
It's these.
I can't wait for Mario to call me a homophobic slur.
Did you ever see the post that's like Mario saying "so long, gay Bowser" with way more emphasis than he used to?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm just like
I wish I could even get excited for Jack Black as Bowser.
I am kind of excited for Jack Black as Bowser because I like Jack Black. I mean, everybody likes Jack Black, but, like, everything else is just so, like... It feels like a joke. It feels like a bad joke.
Keegan-Michael Key as Toad is like someone photoshopped a Toad hat on his head, and it's like, oh, look at this. Wouldn't this be dumb? It's
like, just hire the actual voice actors.
Charles Martinet has been doing Mario, Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi for 20 fucking years now. Even more than that, like 25 to 30 at this point.
I can't even imagine Mario speaking words.
Yeah, like speaking full sentences? No,
it just seems like a bad idea.
Did you see people tweeting? They're like posting pictures of the old Mario Bros. Movie, and they're like, apologize.
Yeah, I do feel sorry now. I'm so sorry. Oh, God. Turns out that movie's actually good. Oh, no.
Like, Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong.
It's like a joke. It's just...
No.
It's a shitpost. It's a bad joke. It sucks. Like... It's... Like, I can't even... It is the ultimate culmination of, like, Robin Williams playing the genie, right? Like, like, a billion years ago, when Robin Williams played the genie, he was like, I'll play the genie, but don't make a big deal out of it. That was because he wanted to play this role, but he also wanted, like, normal voice actors to still be the focus.
He wanted, because back then they didn't hire a lot of celebrities.
Right.
There was, we want... like voice actor, like professional voice actors to do it. And Robin Williams like, oh, well, here's your big name for it.
Sure.
And I'm always tickled by looking at the box art or the poster for Aladdin.
Oh my God.
And it's just Genie is like
front
2/3 of it.
Yeah. It's like, this is kind of where it all ends up, and it sucks because like that's the exact thing. It's like the exact same thing he didn't want to happen, but like. This is where it all kind of culminates. And
it's like, I can understand it if it's like an original property or something, right? And it's like, you're gonna hire a big name to put on your poster. It's like, whatever, it's the nature of the... I don't like it, but I can understand it. But it's like, it was this and then Scoob a few years ago. Where it's like, no... These characters have
voices.
Well-established voice actors.
Yeah, they've had the same voices for 20 years.
Like, you won't let Frank Welker be Fred when he has been Fred, literally the only Fred, besides, like, Freddie Prinze Jr. in the live-action movies.
Yeah.
Like, it's always been him, and you're going to recast him for this.
Just because you need, like a sizzle name.
Yeah, you need a big name for it.
It's just, like... It sucks, and video games are doing it too these days.
Yeah.
Like, they're casting big actors as voice actors instead of just getting, like, professional voice actors, and it usually sounds like shit.
Oh yeah, totally.
Because they're not voice actors. It's a different kind of acting.
You can't put, like, a famous person in a mocap suit, and expect the same kind of results from someone who, like, is trained to do mocap work.
Right, like... God love them. The one thing I will give Naughty Dog is that they do use, like, people who are used to doing mocap work.
Troy Baker, like, does mocap.
That's, like, his thing. He does he is, like, a real actor. He's, like, on TV and stuff, too. But, like, he's a voice actor. He does mocap. Like, that's his thing. And, like, Naughty Dog still hires people who do that.
They didn't hire, like... Troy Baker was their prestige name for The Last of Us, because it's like, holy shit, Troy Baker is a phenomenal voice actor. He's versatile. Like, we can tell that he's going to do a great job. Like, Nolan North as Nathan Drake is like, Nolan North is one of the best, like, a top tier voice actor. Right? Yeah.
It's just so it just sucks. Sucks.
How are you going to take this away from Charles Martinet?
This is like his thing.
And he has been the only Mario forever.
I know, but like that's a very modern Nintendo thing too. It's very modern Hollywood. Yeah. It's a very modern Nintendo thing.
No, this is definitely a Hollywood thing because Nintendo would just recycle N64 clips if they could.
That's true. That is true. Frankly, I would actually vastly prefer a Mario animated movie that didn't have anybody talking.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I would see that.
You remember those Pikmin shorts they put out like a while ago? Like, just do that.
Just do that. But no, we have to have big Hollywood. I don't
Like,
even know what this movie's gonna look like.
It's gonna look awful.
I have no idea.
Because you can't capture the magic of Mario in anything that's not a video game, right?
I can't even just imagine like Mario like standing around and talking.
I know.
Like, that just seems wrong.
Like every Mario RPG has to have like give Mario like a little dude that can talk for him.
Yeah. Like Mario doesn't talk and make jokes. He's just like a blank slate.
Yeah.
Upon which you jump over mushrooms with.
Yeah. You need a character that's like, will you help us, Mario? Oh, you will? Thank you.
Yeah,
and that's it. Because Mario goes, oh, and that's all you get.
That's all he does. He doesn't actually speak. Like, it's just, I can't imagine, like, Mario and Luigi making jokes. Like, Luigi's whole existence, his whole purpose in life is to be scared and go, Mario!
Yeah.
That's it. That's all he does. And now you're going to have Charlie Day doing this? Saying lines like a human being? No.
So, this is like one of those things that like I thought about like late at night thinking about how much I hate this, which is that this is so nitpicky, but it's Mario is the high-pitched voice one.
Right.
Luigi is the low-pitched voice one.
Right.
But you're gonna cast Chris Pratt and Charlie Day.
Swap those.
Yeah, you need to swap them.
If you're gonna do this fucking bit casting, swap them.
Yeah.
But no.
Because I can imagine Charlie Day hitting the wahoo.
Yeah, of course. Oh god.
It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
bad.
They're casting Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, which means Donkey Kong is gonna talk.
Oh,
and
man.
that's weird.
Donkey Kong doesn't talk. Oh man, you're right. This is gonna suck.
This is gonna be so bad.
It's gonna make a bajillion fucking dollars, though. It's gonna make money hand over fist, and then they're gonna make like 6 of them. And I'm already tired thinking about it. Oh, give me some other news.
No,
is that it?
That's the end of it.
We're ending on that.
We're ending on
You're
that.
You're doing that to me.
There's nothing else.
There
in
is
the
no
Nintendo
news.
Direct.
There is no good news. We're ending it on the worst possible. How could you do this to me?
That's all we got.
You travel 800 miles or however many miles it is between Michigan and Alabama to come see me, and all you do is bring me bad news? You brought me bad news from Michigan? I don't like it. You have to leave now. Get out of my house. I'm kicking you out right now. You're banished from my beautiful apartment. You don't get to be here anymore. All you did was bring me bad news. What purpose do I have you for? To make me sad?
I brought you Bayonetta 3.
Oh man!
I brought you Bayonetta 3.
We should have ended on Bayo 3. Instead, we have to talk about Chris Pratt as Mario.
I brought you Spider-Man and Wolverine Insomniac.
I bring you Wolverine, and you say I bring you bad news? How dare you?
They need to get Steve Blum to be Wolverine in this game.
I know.
They need to.
I really hope so. They do real voice actors.
Yeah.
In Insomniac.
Yuri Lowenthal was Spider-Man. Yeah.
That's
so
true. They do voice actors.
Yeah.
So hopefully, yeah. If they got Yuri Lowenthal to be Spider-Man, they'll get Steve Blum to be. Get Steve Blum to be Wolverine.
What are the chances of a Spider-Man character showing up in Wolverine?
Extremely high.
Like an Insomniac Spider-Man character.
Extremely high.
Yeah.
They are.
They're gonna be like, yeah, we're building our own universe.
I was about to say, they are absolutely angling to build their own Insomniac Marvel universe.
I remember playing Miles Morales, and he name drops Dazzler from the X-Men.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a pick.
That's a real reach. When they say Dazzler, it's like, oh, somebody is an X-Men fan at Insomniac. Okay. I feel like they're absolutely going to angle to try and make their own little universe, which is fine.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely do it. I hope they get Steve Blum. I feel like they'll get Steve Blum.
I think so.
I have a good feeling that they'll get Steve Blum because, he is a real voice actor, and he is Wolverine.
Yeah, literally, who else has Wolverine been doing? Every video game with Wolverine has been Steve Blum for 15 years,
and he's still doing voice acting parts in video games. It's not like you know how like Troy Baker doesn't do anime roles anymore?
Yeah.
It's not like that. Like Steve Bloom still does like he still does voice acting for video games.
Yeah.
So I feel like we got a good chance to getting our man back as Wolverine, as like in the best possible Wolverine game, almost certainly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
God, I'm so fucking excited for Venom and Kraven.
I know.
Too.
I really want to see Wolverine gameplay too.
Yeah,
like, really badly.
I don't know what that's gonna play like, but I'm hoping it's slow and like
hard
close.
hitting. Yeah.
Like I don't want it to be like pan out. I want to fight like one dude for a while.
Like very kind of beat 'em up-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I hope I don't know. I mean, it has to be, I guess it'll have to be some kind of open world thing. Maybe?
I don't know because like Wolverine doesn't have like traversal ability.
And he doesn't really have like a city.
Yeah.
Like it's not like, like Spider-Man is so intrinsically associated with
from like you can see like posters in like the background of the bar and it's kind of implying it's in Madripoor, which is where he like for a while he like posed as like a guy named Patch and he was like a business owner and like a Middle Eastern bar type thing.
Sure.
So it's looking like it might be set in there, which is kind of like really small, narrow alleyways and like a dockside type thing.
Okay, so that'd be neat.
Yeah, I don't think you'll be doing a lot of exploration and like scaling buildings and whatnot.
Right, yeah, because it's not like a traversal thing.
But I don't know what other kind of game, like you can't really do level based.
I feel like you maybe if it's kind of like I mean, this is a funny pull, but kind of like The Last of Us.
You could probably do something like that.
Where it's like level based, but they're kind of big exploratory levels, and you're kind of going from like city to city kind of a thing.
Yeah, where you're going into like rooms of a house, but they're like scaled appropriately.
Yeah.
So that it feels like you're like it's an intense place to navigate.
Yeah, like actually it's really funny considering that like the last big Wolverine movie was basically just The Last of Us.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like that Wolverine movie is basically like the best Last of Us movie ever made.
So wait a minute. So, Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter were bumping heads constantly back in the PS2 era.
Right.
What if Wolverine is Insomniac's answer to The Last of Us?
I would actually really like that. I actually would really like to see
What
that.
if the next Wolverine trailer shows off X-23?
I would lose my mind. I want that so desperately. Are you kidding me? I know that like the sad dad genre has kind of gone out of vogue lately, but I think a sad dad game with Wolverine is ideal.
The ubiquitous sad dad Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine is only a sad dad. He has like, I don't know a lot about Marvel Comics, but I do know that Wolverine has adopted like 17 children.
Oh, he's got so many.
Yeah.
Like, he's made so many teenage girls into ninjas.
Yeah.
No, see,
absolutely.
Okay. So see, if they want to parallel The Last of Us,
right,
they'll do X-23.
Absolutely.
If they want to make fun of The Last of Us, it'll be Jubilee.
Okay. I was going to say Kitty Pryde, but yeah.
No, but Kitty Pryde's too serious. It'll be Jubilee.
It'll be Jubilee. Okay. I love this plan. No, that's such a good idea. This is the one time I would accept a sad dad game, because like Wolverine is like the sad dad. Like he is the sad dad upon which all others are based. Yeah. Oh god, I hope so. That would be perfect.
I would love it.
Plus, I would like the idea of playing as X-23 in an Insomniac game. Because
she would be your acrobatic, like, jump around and, like...
scaling walls and shit like that. Absolutely. Please, yes. Okay.
So, I want it to feel like... I want Wolverine to feel like playing as the big daddy. And X-23 to be, like, the little sister. Like, that's what I want.
That would be so cool. Yeah, I'm really excited to see more of like the Wolverine game. Like, it just looks great, and I think Guardians of the Galaxy looks great too.
Yeah, we
saw a little of that, so I'm actually surprisingly, every time I see more of Guardians of the Galaxy the game, I'm like, this looks This looks great.
This is like, you can cancel the Guardians 3. I'll just play the game now.
I'll just play the game. I don't need to see the movie. I'll just play it. It'll be way more in depth.
It's like Insomniac and Square Enix are like, we're just gonna make better MCU.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, please look forward to the Arkham Asylum Captain America game from Insomniac in like 2 years.
Okay. That actually would be pretty sick.
Yeah, it would, actually.
Well, it wouldn't be from Insomniac because they're owned by Sony. It would have to be Square Enix Montreal.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones also making Guardians of the Galaxy. So, but yeah, no, I'm excited.
Super excited, yeah.
I think Wolverine has the potential. I mean, because we didn't see anything substantial from it, but it has the potential to be amazing.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of stuff. There's still too many video games coming out.
Yeah. Fortunately, a lot of these are like 2022, so we have time now.
You say that, but then what's going to happen is that in fall of 2022,
they're all going to come out at the same time.
They're going to come out at the same time. Yeah, this is going to happen again.
We're going to get like, Wolverine is coming out in October. When's Bayonetta 3 coming out? Oh, it's later in October.
It's 2 weeks later in October, and it's like, oh, okay. Actually, it would be sick because Bayo is a witch. They need to put Bayo.
They should put Bayo on in October. Yeah,
in Halloween, on Halloween. You know, like do that. Just own it. Just own the fact that your main character is a witch.
Yeah,
and put it out as on a spooky day. So.
Triangle Strategy is coming out like October 3rd, then Wolverine's coming out like October 17th, and then
Bayo will come out on Halloween, and then we'll be in the same situation we are in this year, where it's like, please stop putting video games out. I am dying. So, they announced that fucking The Good Life is coming out in October.
Yeah,
October 15th. Happy birthday to me. Go fuck yourself, Sarah.
I still gotta play Deltarune 2.
Still gotta play Deltarune 2. I still gotta play Psychonauts 2. I still gotta play Deathloop. I actually haven't even started Tales of Arise yet. Help. I'm dying. I'm physically dying.
Please look forward to our next podcast where we finally get back to Indie Week and play a game that neither of us have finished.
Oh, God. God, help me.
Have you started Boyfriend Dungeon?
No.
Oh, God.
That's what I gotta do next week. I'm not looking forward to trying to get through all this shit. Help.
It never ends.
It never ends. Video games never stop. At least they're all good.
Yeah.
At least everything's been really good so far.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have, but it's also a problem.
It's also a huge problem because I have so many video games I need to play. How am I going to make time for Psychonauts 2? Where am I going to find the time for Psychonauts 2 in here?
I still have to do Travis Strikes Again so that I can do No More Heroes 3.
I know. Yeah, welcome to hell. Are you having fun yet? I mean, I actually am having a lot of fun because all these video games are really good. Yeah. But
Patreon.com/thegorge. Give us money so that we can have more time to play video games.
Thank you guys. We love you all so much.
And thank you to DJ Cutman for use of background music. You can follow me on Twitter at thegorgepodcast. You can follow Sarah at Radio and Activity. You can email us at thegorgepodcast@gmail.com. And you can listen to Sarah play other games, but they're not video games.
They're not video games, but we do also do I feel like I'm just constantly also playing video games there too. I'm in another podcast called Big Gay Nerds where me and a bunch of cool queer friends get together. We try out a lot of different systems. We jump kind of back and forth between different types of games. It's always fun. Right now we're playing Beam Saber. It's a Blades in the Dark hack where instead of playing as thieves, you play as mech pilots.
Which are the opposite of a thief.
Absolutely. The polar opposite of the thief, but it is based off of the Blades in the Dark system, which I have said multiple times on this podcast is probably my favorite tabletop system of all time, because it's the ideal combination of roleplay and number crunching. Mm-hmm. It's perfect. The balance is ideal. So I'm really enthusiastic about that. The cast is really good. The game is really good. So we're on SoundCloud at Big Gay Nerds, so you can find the links to the rest of our social media from there. And hey, don't forget, we have a Discord. If you're listening to this and you like it, you want to hear me threaten you, and if you ever have questions and you want a micro gorge, go to the Discord and we will give you additional opinions about things and stuff. So yeah, there'll be links to that in the episode, and yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, thank you. Fuck Illumination and fuck this whole Mario movie.
Whole Mario movie.
This is gonna be the worst.
It's gonna be agony because it's gonna be really. I do think that the movie will be like visually on. It's not going to be like a Sonic movie situation.
No.
It's going to look like a Mario movie should look.
Yeah, but it's gonna
be utterly soulless.
The script is gonna be garbage.
Like, the script is going to be garbage. It's going to be just like the most like by the numbers kind of like hollow. It'll look nice, but it will be ultimately totally hollow.
Yeah, and like Sonic also has like just a slight tinge of cynicism built into it.
Sure.
That, like, made the movie work better.
There's almost kind of because like Sonic was kind of formulated from the ground up to be a Mario competitor.
Yeah,
like he was like focus tested to be
like
the cool Mario.
The fact that his colors are the exact opposite of Mario's.
Right, exactly. So like there is that little bit of like a little twinge of cynicism that makes Sonic kind of work as like a movie character. And
they've firmly established Sonic as a character.
He's like got a personality. Yeah. Like, whereas Mario is a Mickey Mouse kind of.
Yeah, he's supposed to just like slot into roles.
Right.
But like, unlike Mickey, like Mario doesn't talk.
Yeah.
And because, it's same to like Link. Like, he's not supposed to develop as a character. He's supposed to be a stand-in for the player.
Right, yeah, exactly. So it's just such a strange idea. It's a very odd approach to making a Mario movie. Like, I don't know. I feel like you could maybe make a Mario movie and it have voice acting, but like this voice cast does not suggest the kind of movie that like I would.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. The voice cast doesn't lead to the style of what you would want a Mario movie to be.
Yeah, exactly. I get you can't really do like a silent children's movie in 2021 or 2022. But this specific casting just kind of suggests like your standard like emoji movie, Angry Birds movie.
That's what I thought of as the emoji movie immediately. Or have you seen that 4chan like green text thing where it's like it was like posted like 5 or so years ago, but it's like the Mario movie where it's like the trailer is, that, awkward, and like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that happened.
Yeah, it's a lot of that, and it'll end on a dance party. Yeah. That kind of thing.
This is the Trolls. It's that kind of just, corporate,
generic,
fine-paced.
Generic 3D kids movie. Yeah, absolutely. Or CG kids movie. Yeah. It's like you could make a CG Mario movie that has voice acting, but it takes a certain kind of hand to like make it work. Mm-hmm. And I don't believe any of the hands making this movie are those hands.
No,
you know what I mean?
Not at all.
Like not in the slightest. No. So, yeah. Fuck that.
Fuck that. If it's under 2 hours, it might be takeout fodder, but we'll see. Oh. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.